April 25, 1986. 1 a.m. Pripyat, Soviet Ukraine. A city of 50,000 people sleeps 3 kilometers from a nuclear reactor. Inside that reactor, engineers are about to run a test they've already tried and failed 3 times before. They believe they understand the risk. They are wrong. What happens in the next 27 hours will kill dozens instantly, poison a continent, and force the evacuation of a city that will never be lived in again. But that was just the beginning. Reactor number 4 at the Vladimir Ilyich Lenin nuclear power plant is one of the most powerful reactors in the world. It runs on graphite and ambition, a Soviet engineering triumph built to prove that the state could outproduce the West. The plant's chief engineer that night is Anatoly Dyatlov, a man with a reputation for pushing schedules and pushing people. He has overseen nuclear projects before. He does not tolerate delay. Tonight's task sounds bureaucratic, a safety test. Engineers want to know whether the reactor's spinning turbines can generate enough residual power to keep cooling pumps running during a total electrical failure, the seconds between a power outage and the backup diesel generators kicking in. It's the kind of test any nuclear plant should pass without issue. This one has failed 3 times already. Tonight, they try again, and this time, they intend to finish it no matter what. But here's what nobody in the control room fully grasps. RBMK reactors like this one have a hidden flaw. At low power, they become unstable, dangerously so. The safety systems that should catch a problem can, under specific conditions, become the very trigger of a catastrophe. This is where things get interesting. The test should have started in the afternoon at full staffing under experienced supervision. Instead, a phone call from a regional power grid controller changes everything. Kyiv needs electricity. The test must wait. Hours pass. The day shift that trained for this test goes home. The evening shift hands off to the night shift, the least experienced crew, now inheriting an experiment they didn't plan and don't fully understand. At 11 p.m., the order finally comes through. Begin the test. The reactor's power output has to be brought down to a precise low level and held there. But holding an RBMK reactor at low power is like balancing a pencil on its tip. One miscalculation, and operators watch the output crash far below the safe threshold. They've made a mistake. Now they have to decide, abort or push forward. They push forward. To keep the reactor from stalling completely, engineers begin pulling control rods, the very things designed to slow the nuclear reaction further out than regulations allow. Far more than allowed. The reactor's automatic safety margins are effectively gone. But that was just the beginning. At 1:23 a.m., the test finally begins. Turbines are cut from the main system. Cooling water flow drops. Steam starts building inside the reactor core faster than anyone predicts. The system was never designed to be pushed this far, this fast, with this few safeguards in place. What happens next takes 18 seconds. Alarms scream through the control room. Power surges, not gradually, but violently, doubling and doubling again in fractures of a second. The shift supervisor gives the order every RBMK operator is trained to give in an emergency: hit the AZ5 button. It's meant to be the ultimate fail-safe. Drive every control rod back into the core at once and shut the reaction down cold. It should save them. Instead, because of the same design flaw baked into the rod's construction, The emergency shutdown does something almost unthinkable. For a fraction of a second, it increases reactivity in the core instead of decreasing it. The reactor's power spikes to roughly 100 times its rated output. At 1:23:44 a.m., 2 explosions rip through reactor number 4 seconds apart. The first is steam. The second blows the 1,000-ton reactor lid clean off the building, hurling white-hot graphite and irradiated fuel into a night sky. The core of a nuclear reactor is now open to the atmosphere, burning. And almost no one outside the plant knows it yet. Firefighters arrive within minutes, trained for industrial fires, not nuclear ones. Nobody has told them what's actually burning on that roof. They climb toward graphite fires glowing with lethal radiation, wearing nothing but standard uniforms. Many will be dead within weeks. Inside the plant, workers wade through flooded, darkened corridors, trying to assess damage no training manual ever described. Radiation levels in parts of the building are so high that instruments simply peg at maximum and stop being useful. Soviet officials, informed within the hour, hesitate. Admitting a catastrophe of this scale means admitting failure on a world stage. For the next day and a half, the city of Pripyat, home to plant workers and their families, fewer than 2 miles from the wreckage, goes about its Saturday. Weddings happen. Children play outside. Fishermen cast lines in the cooling pond, unaware the water itself is now a radiation hazard. 36 hours after the explosion, buses finally roll into Pripyat. Residents are told to pack for 3 days. They will never come back. By the time the full evacuation order comes down, radioactive particles are already drifting west, over Belarus, over Scandinavia, where Swedish nuclear plant workers, hundreds of miles away, will be the first to sound the alarm after their own radiation detectors go off during a routine morning shift. The Soviet Union built one of the most secretive states on Earth. It could not hide a cloud. In the weeks that follow, hundreds of thousands of workers, later called liquidators, are sent in to contain the disaster, burying contaminated soil, building a concrete sarcophagus over the ruined reactor, clearing radioactive debris from the roof by hand because robots sent in from West Germany and Japan fail in the radiation field. The official Soviet death toll from the disaster's immediate aftermath is remarkably small on paper. The true toll, from radiation-linked illness spreading through liquidators and nearby populations for decades afterward, is still debated by scientists and historians today. Pripyat remains standing, frozen at the exact moment its 50,000 residents left. Apartment blocks. A Ferris wheel that never opened for its planned May Day celebration. Classrooms with books still open on desks. The disaster didn't just poison a landscape. It exposed the cost of a system built to protect its own image before it protected its own people. A 36-hour silence that turned a preventable accident into an irreversible catastrophe. Today, the Chernobyl exclusion zone still stands, a nearly 20-mile radius of forest reclaiming concrete, monitored, restricted, and haunted by what it costs to learn this lesson. Some silences last 36 hours. Some last forever.